Hi, my name is Jasmine Durham and I'm a dancer with the Australian Ballet and I'm currently performing in an American in Paris. Today I'm going to take you through step by step what I do before a show makeup wise. Obviously I'm done already, but we're going to turn back the clock and I'm going to show you how I got here. So this will be a classic stage makeup look. This isn't natural, less isn't more. It's all about accentuating the features so that your facial expressions can be seen from the stage. So step one is to always prepare the skin. So just using a cotton pad. And then I always use a primer or a moisturizer just so the foundation sits on the skin. So next is foundation. It's really important not to use SPF because it can reflect with the stage lights. So that's why I've chosen this one. So every night I do my own makeup, especially if it's just, my face, I'm playing a character that's human. The only time I've had a makeup artist is when I've played an animal. For example, in Alice in Wonderland, I was the turtle. So I had a makeup artist come in and full on paint my face. So I was completely transformed. So the next step is contouring. So the rule of contouring is if you want to bring something in, it's a dark color. So receding, you put a dark color. And to bring something out, you put a lighter color. So first I think, okay, let's bring out the cheekbones. I'll grab a brush like this. Work the product in. I always tap. I don't know, that's a thing I always do. So tap it off to get like the excess off because you don't want to just go like this. There's heaps of product. So you got this, tap, and then you just follow underneath the cheekbone. You can do that sort of fanning action on one side and then the other side. So you see how that sort of brings a little bit more shape to the face. Because from a distance, you don't want to look like you're just a big sort of circle. You want to have shape into the face. So I also, these tips don't work for everyone, but for me, I have quite a large forehead. So I always take a bit away from it with a bit of this color, then tapping, put it up there. So obviously if you have a smaller forehead, you just kind of leave it. Do a little bit in the temples. It's all about accentuating the features. Also do the jaw a bit. It's really going underneath here. I find this so therapeutic. I feel like some dancers love sewing their point shoes. Like this is very therapeutic for me, but that's me. You want to bring this bone forward, so the cheekbone right here, and the brow bone. So what I do is I grab this highlighter color, so this one. So remember that brings that forward, the brown color precedes it. You can even do a sort of like C shape. And then I usually do like a color wash of my whole eyelid. So from the lash line to the brow bone. So we're gonna put the brows on. Eyebrows are really important with stage makeup because I feel like you can express a lot with your eyebrows, like you can do this, happy, like it's really important to shape the brows. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this brush, just really combing the brows. Then I'm gonna grab an angle brush. So if you can see there, very thin angled brush. And then I'm going to fill in my brows. So really follow the natural shape of your eyebrows. Literally the most important step, in my opinion. And you look kind of crazy in person, but from stage, it's perfect. And even if you have blonde hair, it's very important to have darker brows. And then I always, while coloring in, I grab this brush again and I just keep brushing it out. So it's like you put the color in and then you brush it out and you just keep doing it until you get it right. So it looks like a lot now, but once I have the rest of the makeup on and the lashes and everything, it'll be great. So yeah, constantly brushing up. Okay, next I'm going to contour my socket. I'm gonna grab a brown color. So some people think you should wear blue eyeshadow, but yeah, probably not the best idea. Brown is always better. So stick to the more natural colors if you're playing a human character or playing yourself. So I'm gonna go in the socket. So see how I'm accentuating the eye socket. So before each production, we get like a guide. Like, so usually it's a photo of what type of makeup we should do, but almost always it's accentuate the eyes. Usually lip colors different for each show, but rarely are we told to wear a different type of eyeshadow. And keeping that highlighter color here. See that C there? And then you bring it all the way down. But definitely this section here is the darkest at C. And this is from years and years of practice. I remember there's been like ex-dancers that have really helped me. When I first joined the company, I had no idea what I was doing. And some of the older dancers would come up to me and be like, try this, maybe this would suit you. And I always used to admire other dancers' makeup and be inspired, and you learn over time, but it's all about practice. You do feel silly for a first few goes. And blending is so important. Obviously not as important as if you were, doing normal makeup, but it's still important for stage makeup to make sure it's completely blended. It's more about, you've got to use enough product. So put a lot of product in there and then really blend it out. So next I'll do eyeliner. I'm going to grab another angle brush. So the same thing that I use for my eyebrows. I'm going to wet it, so you can use water, you can use some Fix Plus, and then I always like sort of squeeze it, just make sure it's really pointy. Then I use black eyeshadow for my eyeliner. Some people use the paint pot, or you can use liquid eyeliner, but I love using eyeshadow because you can sort of move around a bit better. And what I do is I follow the lash line, the bottom lash line, and I go like this, and that's where the wing should go. So if you look there, I'll just do it with the mirror here, and it's sort of a continuation of the lower lash line. So I've mapped out where the flick's gonna go, and then now I go along the top lash line. So I keep filling the brush in with black eyeshadow. People aren't looking at it up close. This isn't for camera, it's for stage. So you do a thick line along the top lash line. So you have that line, you have a thick line on the top lash line, and then you sort of connect the two. So it's not perfect, but it really opens up the eyes, and especially when I start doing the bottom line as well, it really sort of accentuates the eyes. See the difference between the two? So I'll do it to the other side. So again, I'll line it up. I'll map it out. So the top line's done. 2 flicks. So there's many ways you can do the bottom line, but for me personally, I get So again, I use the black eyeshadow, work into the brush, tap, and then sort of gently work it in. So yeah, don't go too far in, because you don't want to look like, you know, it's all the way around. So another way you can do your eyeliner, your bottom eyeliner, is to start here, so 3/4 in, and then just do a straight line across. Not going too far out. Not as long as the top one, the top eyeliner. But yeah, this is all done with a very thin angled brush and black eyeshadow. So now I'm going to do, fake eyelashes are very important. Again, it's all about the eyes. This is like the final touch. And the thing is, like, you know, if you don't do a perfect top eyeliner, it's all hidden with the fake eyelash. So I don't get too stressed about it being like perfection. So, just gonna grab a pair of these bar lashes. Grab the glue, run the glue along the whole lash. And I always let the glue sit a little bit, because if you put it straight on, it's not like tacky enough. So I always kind of just like let it sit for a bit, get a bit of air on there, and then just place the lash on the eyeliner as close to your natural lashes as possible. And the other side. So I've done sort of the basis of it all. Now I'm gonna grab the concealer, because there's been a bit of fallout underneath my eyes. So I'm just grab some concealer, just go underneath my eyes. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, because no one's gonna come up close. And then I'm going to grab some blush, grab a brush like this. And I always think I do a big smile, and then I do the sort of apple part of the cheek. And I always think to do like the top of the apple, if that makes sense, because then when you drop your face, it's up high, so it like kind of brings the face up. So I always do a big smile. And see here, you've highlighted here, you've contoured here. This sort of all brings it together. So this is another, you just blend it all out. And then another final touch is mascara. So I keep checking, what else do I need to do? I use this no color powder. This is like a setting powder. So I'll grab like a huge brush and sort of, you can either put it in your hand, you can put it on your towel. I put like a little bit in my hand, circle it around, and this really sets everything, especially if you're sweating. So last step is lipstick. So again, doesn't have to be perfect. Don't overdraw your lips though. Again, when I'm really nervous, sometimes I do that. Super easy with this built-in brush. And I always keep lipstick side stage, because I said, like, I lick my lips quite a bit. Always comes off. Always check my teeth. And then, final step before the multiple touch-ups is a setting spray. So I always do about like 3 or 4 sprays. So that's the final step. And then I always just go back and look. I'm just like, okay, is there enough? Can I see it from a distance? I swear that's like the last thing I do before I go on stage. And I'll go back in, like seriously, it's just like a sort of habit thing. I just think it's so important, especially when you're telling a story, to have an expressive face that can be seen from a distance. Thank you so much for watching. I understand that every face is different, and what works on me might not work for you, but hope that was helpful. And If you have any questions, just leave a comment, and otherwise, see you on stage.